Night after night, we would hear bottles breaking and screaming and fighting.
And I couldn't stop what was happening, and it was just tearing them apart. I could see the grief, and I don't know how they survived it.
I wasn't living anymore. I had already lost the will to do anything. I was just, mindlessly walking around.
At the end, I was probably 30 pounds less than I am now. My diet consisted of, I remember I would buy a 99-cent double cheeseburger every day or two, just enough just so I could keep walking.
The Morton Center saves people's lives. I've seen people who have lost jobs. Their family doesn't want to have anything to do with them. Their mother's calling the police if they even show up in the front yard. Substance abuse is a disease process. And mental illness, the same thing. It's not that somebody's being lazy, they just don't want to go to work when they're really depressed.
When I got to that point, I didn't think that I was going to be able to live anymore. And I didn't think that, I really thought it'd be better for all of them if I didn't too.
It hurt me a lot that we were never really let in on a lot of things, but we were the ones who were living with it most directly.
If I was able to be able to just be removed from their lives because I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop what was happening, and it was getting worse.
Someone with substance abuse struggling, it'd be like telling someone with cancer to just eat better and exercise and get over it.
You have to have a place like the Morton Center. If you, as somebody that's chemically dependent or as a family member, you don't have a place like the Morton Center to turn to, then there's no place to get the education, the counseling, the guidance. People don't know how to do this on their own. Most people don't survive this without that kind of help.
I have a will and a purpose to live today. I have goals, and I accomplish those goals, and I'm happy. I'm happy again, and not just content, but actually happy.
Starfish. A man was walking along the beach one morning, and he saw that countless starfish had washed up onto the shore.
In the distance, he could see a little boy bending over, then walking into the water, over and over.
As the man drew near, he realized that the boy was putting the starfish back in the sea, one at a time. Approaching the boy, the man said, "What are you doing?"
The boy answered, "Putting the starfish back in the water so they don't die."
The man said, "But you can't save all these starfish. What difference does it make?" The little boy shrugged. He picked up a starfish and put it gently into the ocean, saying, "It made a difference to that one."
At my old school, I was always being made fun of because I couldn't go as fast as the other kids.
I think teachers at my old school didn't understand me, and how I functioned and how I thought.
I couldn't concentrate. There were so many people that I just was so worried that everybody was just looking at me and thinking, wow, she's not very smart.
Our kids are really demoralized. They've been made fun of. They feel horribly inadequate with regard to their learning, and they get very downhearted, and they feel as though education isn't any fun for them.
Well, I think the teachers are they have very good patience with the kids. I think 100% of the time they're just open. They're just oh sure, we'll do anything to make your experience at Summit Academy better.
They try to do their best to make us learn, and I'm really grateful for those teachers who do that.
If we can help a child succeed in life, we're going to help, I feel like, our world become a better place.
How many kids truly get left behind? And I know Sydney's gonna be okay, but I know there's so many other kids that don't have this opportunity.
Summit Academy is a place that everyone can feel welcomed, and accepted and loved and appreciated for however their mind or their heart works.
I mean, I just feel like Summit was God sent to me. I'm sorry, I didn't want to do that. Sad. It's just been it's just been a blessing for what it's done for Blake and the confidence and keeping him going.
When I grow up, I want to be a teacher at Summit Academy. I really do.
I love Summit Academy because everything's perfect for me.
It made a difference to that one.
After Hurricanes Katrina and Rita passed over the Gulf Coast, thousands of horse owners in the region had no idea where to turn. In the chaos, some horses were lost, some injured, some stranded, and some remained trapped in their stalls. The equestrian community in North America responded rapidly, as clearly there would be multitudes of horses and horse owners in the Gulf area in serious trouble. Thousands of emails and calls immediately began to pour into the USEF, offering shelter for horses and volunteering to take supplies to the region. Donations began to arrive to the newly created USEF Hurricane Relief Fund. For horse people across the country, the effort was purely for the love of the horse.
I'm Dr. Shannon Gonsalam. Riding with us is Morton Center and Dr. Dina DeBlanis with LSU School of Veterinary Medicine. We're working under the guidelines of the State Veterinary Office to go and rescue as many horses as we can from the floodwaters of Hurricane Katrina. Going to a location called New Orleans East, which is right across the levee from Lake Pontchartrain. It was one of the hardest hit areas with the floodwaters. There's several horse barns in this location that we couldn't get to them previously. So finally, 2 days ago, we started getting horses out of those several barns that are in that area. And it was even higher than this yesterday, so the water has been going down. They've been pumping where we were at. They got probably 20 or 30 pumps pumping out going to the Industrial Canal.
The horses knew we were there to get them out because, I mean, they would whinny. When they seen us, they were hollering. They knew we were there for something. The putrid water that everybody was saying it was just a mixture of the salt water, the marsh mud that came in with everything, and of course busted sewer lines. So we had all that to contend with, plus we dealing with stalls that haven't been cleaned out in 9 days. Of course the horses, you'd be surprised. They almost knew that they were getting out. They were skittish, they were scared, but when you got your hands on them, they knew they were going. They didn't give us any problem at all getting lead ropes on these guys. You walk off the alleyway and then you drop down because they've been walking around these stalls, and what they did, they just dug big holes, and of course the slush just stayed in there, so they kept digging these holes. So when you walked down, you fell into the stall.
Yeah, the little pony on that end.
Oh, no, it was at a hole.
You got it by the other horses?
They were scared, they were skittish, but as soon as you got your hands on their halter, and none of these guys were halter, we had to get in there and halter them and get leads on them, but none of them fought us. Everyone almost came directly to us to give us their head, and as soon as we got them out the stall, they knew where they were going. They just followed us, and that's studs and sometimes horses that you would normally consider unruly just came right on out, and they were happy to be out of there. Of course, the way it's been going is every time that the National Guard would see us with a horse trailer, they would say, hey, look, we found this here and found this here. So just because we were going to get one don't mean we weren't coming back with 5 or 6. We were very fortunate to have Dr. Denny French and the vet school and a lot of veterinarians willing to donate their time and talents to take care of all the sick and injured horses at no charge. Any horse that got there that had any medical condition that was needed, the vet school offered complete treatment. There's just something about the horse that draws you to it. It could be a bucking horse at a rodeo, or a dressage horse, or a thoroughbred. There's just something about the animal that draws you to it.